Saturday, August 26th was a gorgeous day for No Prep Mania 7.5 at Magnolia. I was there with Jacob and Gramps for his debut, his first chip draw, and Dalton's second. Dalton drew our buddy Matt Winters. Jacob drew Mark Campitelli in the wagon. And I drew Chris Terry in this nice old school Chevelle. I'll post a link later for the Red Dogs Garage video. We just started a YouTube page for them. And this is my first round against Chris Terry. As you can see, the crowd was packed there at Mag's as normal. A lot of people were out, a lot of media taking pictures. Spooled Media, Alley Mae Photography was there. No Prep Felons was there, to name a few. As well as our local photographer, Lanny was there. Lanny Hoyt, that takes photography for all the street class and no box and box cars that are there on the Sunday program. So I had Casey Knopfsinger lining me up and pouring a puddle. He pulled me where we thought we would be. And I proceeded to lay my burnout down. And Pops was going to back me up. And he was trying to straddle this pothole that was in the right-hand lane. Now, me and Matt talked about it later, and he said that, the pothole was always there. We ran over it many, many times, and I'm like, I don't remember it being there. I don't know. So I was trying to straddle that hole to avoid, wheel spin. So when Pops, backs me up, he pulls me a little bit over, farther in the right lane than I normally am, to straddle this hole. Okay. And Chris Lane in this Chevelle is an LS-powered turbo car. So lining up straight, we talked about this. It's everything in Hardtire. I mean, it's a car like mine doesn't make a lot of horsepower, even with the nitrous. But even on all motor, if you don't leave right, you can spin. It's all about weight transfer, having the right setup for your car, putting the right weight in the right spots. I mean, I've took a lot of weight out of this car. So Chris goes back, brings us in, and bangs the light. I took off a little sluggish and I spun a little bit, as you can hear in the video. Now you can kind of see a shadow there, but I took the stripe by about a fender when I looked over. I always look over as a bracket racer. You tend to know to look over at the opponent all the time, several times going down the track. You look over, you glance over, you know where you're at. I knew the stripe. Now, me and Chris talked about this later. He thought that he beat me to the stripe. And in fact, it stirred a little bit of controversy, and I'll talk about this here in a minute. I was pretty excited. I believe in my heart I took the stripe. You'll hear my reaction.
Hell yeah, that was a good run, dude. I looked over and I got him by, a fender. A fender. I am so pumped about that race, man. That was a hell of a good run. Hell of a good run. He got me on the tree. I know I didn't red light.
So on to round 2, I did get the win with a little bit of controversy. So Jake lost to Campitelli, so I drew him in the second round. I had the right lane again, and I was a little bit shooken up by the controversy in round 1. They wanted a rematch. I didn't want a rematch.
Trying to fuck me.
He protested and threw the $100 down, and they had no camera line photo for the finish. So this dude was, Chris was a little upset, and like I said, I talked to him later, about the race and understood, made him understand where I was coming from. This is the World Series of No Prep, okay? So their finish line guys make calls all the time on cars that are way faster than us. And I explained that. I said, if they're saying I won, more likely I beat this track. I know this track. I've been down it many, many times. And Chris was kind of new at this. So, like I said, I was distracted when I came up here in the second round, and I didn't have my head in the game. Dad backed me up again, tried to straddle the hole as we did the first time. He showed me where it was at. So I made sure that my tire did not go over the hole. Now I had the, nitrous up to pressure, 1,000 PSI on the edge of the red and the green. But for some reason, when I launched the car in this one, I spun bad, as you can see in the video. Chris goes back, brings him in, brings me in, drops back, bangs the light, I hit it, I spin. The wagon's gone. That car is really fast. And like I said, I was so distracted on round one that I was looking to grudge race after I lost in this round because I assumed I was going to lose. I knew this car and I know what the wagon has. But in fact, I didn't. The wagon jumped. So with that being said, here comes the semifinals. They called me over the PA and I'm standing there watching racing. I sprinted 150 yards to my car. My dad grabbed the bottle and they gave me 5 minutes. We heated the bottle up and proceeded to pull my car into the left lane. I was racing Matt Munson from Michigan. My dad said my bottle pressure was up, so I trusted him. He pulled me in the left lane. And I was working under pressure here. Seat of my pants. Chris goes back, pulls me in, pulls Matt in, bangs the light, and I'm off for the races. Couldn't have stuck a better lane than that. Stuck, it didn't spin, the nitrous kicked in, and it was a race. As you can see, I beat Matt off the light, but he came around me in the big end and put at least a car and a half on me. I learned a lot. Our next race will be at October 7th, the Hollow Rewind. I'll be there with Red Dog's Garage, Jake and Dalton. And like I said, I'll post a link to the new video below in the comments. Special thanks to John and Owen Baker for the video and pictures, D-Team and Ohio Grudge Racing, Red Dog's Garage, and Lincoln Insurance Group.